Well, it's been just over 1 week since the Subcontrabassoon campaign went live, and I thought I'd film a brief video update. First of all, thank you so much to all of you that have contributed. I'd like to encourage anyone who is planning on contributing to do so sooner rather than later. Early contributions play a big role in encouraging other people to contribute. I had 2 very enjoyable interviews in the last week, one with Ricky O'Bannon, the writer-in-residence at the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra, and the second with Brett Newton, who runs the Bandestration blog. And there are links to both of these interviews in the comments section below. I'm still brainstorming t-shirt ideas for the contribution perks. 2 ideas that I've been playing around with are based upon 2 of the posters I made for the Subcontrabassoon.com Facebook page. Love to hear any ideas you all might have about possible t-shirt designs. I am many things, but an expert graphic designer is not one of them. I'd also like to go into a little more detail about the Adopt a Joint program, that top-level contribution perk. I'd also like to go into a little more detail about the so-called Adopt a Joint program, that top-level contribution perk. When I was designing the Subcontrabassoon, I had a lot of very uninventive names for the 14 straight joints on the instrument. Things like wing joint A, or second boot joint C, or bell B. But what I'd like to do is name these joints after contributors. So if someone were to contribute about 1/14 of what the Subcontrabassoon prototype will cost to make, then 1/14 of the instrument, or one of those straight joints, would be named after them, or someone else that they might choose to have the joint named after. So if you're really interested in the project and able to afford it, it's a great way to kind of immortalize your name on the project. And finally, I thought you all might want to see some of the history of the project. You could argue that the prehistory of the project goes all the way back to 1999, when I was 15, and at that time I was a member of Grant Green's Contrabass.com email list, and at some point in the summer, I decided to doodle a Subcontrabassoon and send it to everybody. I mean, it was really embarrassing because it was, well, bad and in no way accurate, but I am disappointed that I lost the original image several hard drives ago. So if you happen to have it, please send it to me. But the real origin of the project came from a YouTube video I was going to make. I was going to make a video talking about the historical subcontrafagot, the instrument that gave rise to the myth of the Subcontrabassoon. But I thought it would be interesting to, at the end of the video, show a model, just to give you all an idea of the scale of a Subcontrabassoon. And this is what I came up with. The tone holes are very roughly calculated because it was never intended to be built. I very briefly considered kind of hacking it together in the same way that I made my contrabassoon extensions, which is why you notice some of the odd proportions. It's proportioned in that way because I needed to use commercially available PVC pipe fittings for the bends. Eventually, I came to the decision that this was a project that deserved to be done well, not something that should be kludged together out of cardboard and PVC pipe. And here we have some of the first 2D sketches of the eventual Subcontrabassoon design, which resulted in a 3D model that looked something like this. Now, as long as you know the tone hole geometry, the pad size, and the height at which that pad is suspended over each tone hole, the rest of the key work isn't really critical from an acoustics point of view. And since I anticipated needing to tweak tone hole sizes and tone hole placement after the prototype, I originally thought that I wasn't going to model the rest of the key work. And here we have a model that just has dummy key work in place. Just a flat 2D copy of Contrabassoon key work placed in the same vertical position as it is on Contrabassoon. Eventually, I came to the realization that for the project to have the greatest chance of success, I needed to make it as close to the finished prototype as possible, which meant adding key work. And the rest of the clips are just various render tests of the finished model. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. My next video is planned to be a video talking about audibility in the subcontrabass register, as this is probably the question that comes up more often than any other when talking about the Subcontrabassoon project. And finally, if you haven't done so already, I'd encourage you to visit the Indiegogo campaign, and hopefully you'll consider contributing. Have a great day.